Hey, stop for a second and really listen. This is going to shake up everything you've believed since you were a kid. From the day you could walk, people trained you like a puppy. Sit, stay, be nice, don't bark. They told you good guys finish first. That patience pays off. That if you just play by the rules, life will hand you the trophy. Cute story, total lie. The world doesn't hand out prizes to the sweet ones. It hands them to the ones who see the game underneath the game, who spot the strings on the puppets, the smoke behind the mirrors, the real price tags on every smile. Here's the raw truth most folks can't stomach. Honesty doesn't earn respect, strategy does. Machiavelli saw through it all 5 centuries back when everyone else was polishing their halos. He caught kings preaching, "Be kind," while plotting moves that crushed empires. He watched priests trade salvation for silver. He cracked the code. The system stays in charge by keeping people peaceful, obedient, and in the dark. That's where you come in. You've been following instructions your entire life. Lower your voice, swallow your pride, wait your turn, apologize even when you're right. Those instructions weren't meant to build you up, they were meant to keep you small. Planet full of small people is easy to steer. A planet full of awake, hungry minds, that's a wildfire nobody can control. So today we flip the script. Today we rip the blindfold off and stare straight at the 10 society rules that have been chaining you since kindergarten. Break these and you stop being background noise. You start being the guy people move for when you walk into a room. Now the rules shift, and so do you. From this moment forward, every belief that kept you small begins to fracture. Power does not wait. Power does not ask. Power arrives with presence, with silence, with a gaze that says, "I know who I am, and I no longer fold." You are stepping into a darker version of intelligence, not evil, but awake. The kind that sees through flattery, through fake smiles, through empty promises disguised as kindness. The kind that listens more than it speaks, because the one who listens learns, and the one who learns leads. You were told to be harmless. Harmless earns pity, not respect. Respect comes from a discipline, from boundaries, from the ability to say no without flinching. Respect comes from a man who chooses his battles, his words, his company. Now you move with intention, slow, measured, controlled, because power is never rushed, it is deliberate. From now on, you speak less, you observe more, you move only when movement shifts the ground beneath others. This is not arrogance, this is evolution. Every great leader, from emperors to modern giants, learned the same truth. You do not rise by being agreeable, predictable, or endlessly available. You rise by mastering the game beneath the surface. So remember, silence is not weakness, it is preparation. Patience is not passivity, it is positioning. Restraint is not fear, it is strategy. You no longer chase validation, you command energy. Some will misunderstand you, let them. Some will fear the change, let them. Some will test your new boundaries, hold the line, because the world respects the man who is willing to walk alone more than the man desperate to be included. Now breathe and step forward. The version of you who waited, apologized, softened himself to avoid conflict, that version is gone. In its place stands someone carved by clarity, by dignity, by self-rule. You are not here to be accepted, you are here to be recognized. From this point, every move becomes intentional. You no longer rush to explain yourself, you no longer justify your choices to those who haven't earned access to your truth. A lion does not explain the hunt to sheep. You build inner stillness. Stillness turns doubt into calculation. Stillness turns emotion into awareness. Stillness turns chaos into opportunity. Understand, most people live reactive lives, triggered by opinions, controlled by fear, guided by comfort. But you are choosing something rarer, self-governance. There will be moments where doubt whispers, moments where the old habits try to return, moments where others try to guilt you back into the role they benefited from. Smile quietly. Growth is uncomfortable, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're finally doing something right. Power isn't loud. Power is presence, a presence that doesn't beg, doesn't hurry, doesn't tremble. You no longer fear losing people, you fear losing yourself, and that shift changes everything. Soon rooms will fall silent when you enter, not because you demand it, but because something in you announces itself without a word. A man who knows himself is a disruption. A man who respects himself is a storm. A man who commands himself becomes inevitable. So carry yourself like someone who remembers. You are not here to survive. You are here to dominate your space, master your mind, and become the architect of your fate. The world is watching, not to approve you, but to see whether you fold or rise, and you will rise. Stand firm, move wisely, speak rarely, and never forget, those who fear discomfort never hold power. The next phase of your evolution is refinement. Your energy becomes sharper, your boundaries stronger. You stop responding emotionally and start responding strategically. People will sense the difference. Some will respect it, some will resent it. Let both reactions educate you, because power is not just about how you act, it's about how you choose not to react. You begin noticing patterns in human behavior. The insecure argue loudly, the unwise overshare, the powerless seek validation, the unfocused chase distraction, but the powerful, they observe, they analyze, they wait. You do not rush decisions, you study timing. You do not expose emotion, you master expression. You do not cling to anything or anyone, because freedom is your leverage. With each day, your identity becomes less negotiable. You stop explaining your worth, because those who can't see it are not meant to have access to it. And in that silence, in that unshakable sense of self, the world responds. Opportunities appear, respect increases, weak connections fall away. Your presence begins shaping the environment instead of being shaped by it. This is the point where men either retreat back to comfort or step into destiny, and you are not returning. Not now, not ever. Because once you taste self-authority, obedience feels like chains. So continue forward with precision, with discipline, with a calm ruthlessness, not toward others, but toward your old limitations. The world does not give power freely, but now you no longer ask. You take your place with stillness, strength, and intention, and the world will adjust. From here, the journey is no longer about proving yourself. It is about embodying the man you are always meant to become. You don't force respect. You carry yourself in a way that makes disrespect improbable. You don't chase recognition. You create results that speak in your silence, and you don't fear isolation, because solitude is where power sharpens its edge. So walk forward with a heart that remembers pain, a mind that protects your vision, and a presence that refuses to shrink. You are no longer the man who waits. You are the man who arrives, and the world will learn to move around you. This transformation isn't loud. There is no announcement, no ceremony, no applause. It happens the same way storms form, with pressure, silence, and inevitability. You will notice subtle shifts. Your voice becomes steadier, your eye contact becomes stronger, your decisions become final, and slowly, people won't just hear you, they will feel you, not because you demanded power, but because you built it brick by brick, boundary by boundary, moment by moment. Now understand this final truth. Power isn't something you chase. Power is something you grow into, and you have begun. So carry this presence into every room you enter. Do not shrink. Do not rush. Move like a man who knows his value, because now you do. Some will test you, hoping the old version of you still exists. Do not argue. Do not defend. Simply remain unmoved. Your lack of reaction will speak louder than any speech, and as days pass, the world will adjust to this new force you have become, not because they are told to respect you, but because they cannot ignore you anymore. You are not finished. This is only the beginning. Stand in your new identity fully. No hesitation, no retreat, because once a man chooses power over approval, his life expands, and now it's your turn to expand. So step forward, slowly, intentionally, fearlessly. The world is watching, and finally, it will remember you. You have crossed the threshold, and there is no return. Walk with certainty, walk with purpose, walk as the storm. Now rise. This is the moment you stop waiting for life to choose you, and you finally choose yourself without fear. Yes.